Kia ora and welcome to the sixth live session. This is Mary Joseph coming live from Hamilton, and this is HIV Global. We are a New Zealand-based migration services company to also help you young students and young professionals to come to New Zealand and migrate. So before I begin, I'd like to call out my license number because that is important for every LIA to prove that they are a licensed advisor before providing immigration advice for New Zealand. Please make that note of that. So it's 201-801-050. So I have my beautiful team here on backup helping me from India and across other cities. To help me across, and help you with all the questions. Right. Before we move on to the questions, when people are just joining in, I can see that. And today we've got Arun also online, live watching this live session. He just came back to New Zealand after his break, annual leave to India. So, and I've got my other team members. I see some of my clients coming online. Hi, Anita. You're the first one who always comes online. Pleasure to have you as a client. And moving on. So to begin with, I'd like to first start off with reminding you how important it is to start your New Zealand visa application process if you're looking at studying in New Zealand anytime in the next, I'd say, 6 to 8 to 10 months, because we have got confirmed information from Immigration New Zealand that they are having a huge backlog of applications, and they have suggested that the applications can take a minimum of 6 weeks to about 12 weeks, depending on a lot of other factors. So if suppose the other important factor in the delay with applications is not just that Immigration New Zealand is overworked. If there is a single document that is missing or does not make your application decision ready, that also can delay further processes. So that means you need to work with somebody who understands what INZ needs, what the visa officers are looking at. You need to work with the team who can fit you into the right program, who can send you to a good school, who can because what happens is, it's when a visa application goes to Immigration New Zealand, it's like a puzzle, right? And when they have the papers in front of them, they should be able to just put it easily together rather than them having to spend a lot of time, right? So what we do, we are very, very good at putting the puzzles together. We love these applications purely because we are like, you can say we are like detectives. We try and plug in all the loopholes. We try and see what kind of objections can be raised, and we answer that on the file even before it it is raised by the immigration officer. So we are very good at that. So you need to talk to someone, you need to talk to us, because we, apart from being experienced with the New Zealand visa applications, we have got a very, very strong team of professionals, of which we have 6 ex-immigration officers who were working with Immigration New Zealand Delhi. They are highly knowledgeable about the visas. So when we send out files, it's decision ready. That's what we call it. So that the immigration officers don't have to spend time. So already your application is sitting in the queue for quite a long time, but when it comes in front of them, it should be an easy task for them to just go tick, tick, tick and say, okay, visa approved. So that is approved in principle. That's what happens with New Zealand, So you get your visa approved in principle and then you pay your fees. So we do that, okay? We're very, very good at that, and we're proud. We also have a visa conversion rate, or that is a visa success rate. You can go up on the immigration website also and cross-check. We have a 90+ conversion rate for our visas. That means we don't really lose any visas unless and until it's a medical health problem or some documentation that was not they were not able to verify. But even then, we are for that also we are taking measures to ensure that immigration can reach the banks properly. And we are also we talk to the managers, we tell them, guys, please be on call, it's very important, and things like that. So we do a thorough job. So guys, work with somebody like us, and importantly, start early. If you're looking at an intake even next year, doesn't matter, we will put your application in well in advance. If you're planning to come with your family, you need at least 3 more months additional because your family's visas also have to be sorted out, and that is also going to take some time. All the partnership cases and everything is now being processed in New Zealand, so there's a queue beginning. So you might wonder why Immigration New Zealand is taking so much of time. That's because they are reorganizing their offices. Many of their offices have been shut down now. Delhi is going to come to close quick soon, and then London is shut down already. There are a lot of offices that they've shut down, so they're redistributing their workload, and all visa applications from across the globe is coming to India. So you can understand what kind of pressure they're dealing with. So let's respect them, that they are also overworked, and let's work in advance and give them the files that will not get them to spend a lot of time on. Righto. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you is that the offer we were running, announced this the last in live session as well. So we're having an offer. Any applications that you guys, any of you who are signing up with us, it is just to motivate you and not to snatch you away from anybody else. It is just to motivate you for you to work with us. So we are offering a 5,000 rupees gift voucher on your visa approval if you're signing up for a course starting in April, May, June, and you're signing up before the 16th of February. And so that's what it is. So please connect with us immediately so that we can get you started. If you're on the wall and you need to know why you need to work with us, I can have somebody contact you. So the numbers you can ring us on if you are based in India is 1-800-103-6525. And the email address you can write us to is info@hjbglobal.com. If you want to reach me or any other person here in New Zealand, it's best you can call this New Zealand number. It's +642260526115, and the email address is immigrationadvisor@hjbglobal.com. Right, all the routine things is underway. Now let's get into the questions. I see that there's some questions coming in, so we'll get straight to it. Sounds good. Hi, O'Neill. Okay. And he says, welcome back, Arun. Yes. Okay. Right. So starting off with Abhishek Singh. So Abhishek says, hello, I'm AJV client. I'm looking for October intake in QRC College, Queenstown. I have hospitality background, having 3 years experience, but my course is not in long-term skill shortage list. So will I have to face a trouble to get resident visa in the future? And I'm a little bit worried. First of all, Abhishek, thank you very much for working with us, for choosing to be an AJV client. I'm sure you will not regret it, not just while you're still in India processing your application, but also once you come to New Zealand and avail our support, our help through your pathway, the entire process, the journey. And what I can tell you is you've selected a very, very good school, especially for the hospitality. Queenstown is the adventure capital of the world. That means there's a lot of hospitality happening. The sector is very, very big in Queenstown. And apart from that, the program that you're looking at, the diploma is a very, very good diploma. We have seen very good outcomes come out of that program. And your question is about whether it's in the long-term skill shortage. It's not. Yes, that's correct, what you said. However, resident visas is not just for people on the long-term skill shortage list. If you look at the policy, it doesn't say that only people with the skill shortage list or people on the skill shortage list will be given any preference. There is a few bonus points. I think in total, there's only about 25 points that is given as bonus. That's about it. Okay. There is no other talk about the long-term skill shortage list apart from those 2 bonuses that they give. So the key to getting your resident visa is to do a course that will lead you to a job, that will prepare you for a job, that will make you job ready. That is the key, right? So we have a lot of people. In fact, 50% of the students that come here are not from the skill shortage list, are not do not belong to the area of long-term skill shortages. So what they do is they have to just get out and look for a job, and if they find a job of a certain salary threshold, they are able to apply for a resident class visa. Of course, you have to get that 160 points, which we will calculate and we'll advise, right? So that's what you need to focus on. It's focusing on your course so that you become job ready while you're studying, preparing yourself for the employer. That means you're doing voluntary work. There are a lot of students who do this mistake. They do not get out and get some Kiwi experience. Now, Kiwi experience doesn't necessarily mean getting a job. you can also work in a lot of voluntary organizations where you can get that kiwi experience. You've got hospice, you've got Salvation Army, you've got so many, you've got Vincent de Paul, there are so many what do you say, the organizations that do this kind of voluntary work, and many of our students have picked up voluntary work which is adding to their kiwi experience, right? So getting that kiwi experience is very important, Abhishek, and since because you will be here with us, we will guide you through, not to worry about that, and that's how you will get to your resident visa. Okay, you don't have to be worried. You have direct access again to me because you're an HIV client. Ask your case officer to connect you with to me so that we can take this forward, and I can tell you further if you have any other questions, right? Good. I hope that has answered your question. Moving on. Saujanya. Hi, Saujanya. How are you? Hope everything's fine in Nelson after the fire last week. I hope things are all right with you guys. Right. Next, we've got Vijay Sharma. He says, I've applied for a visa on 19 January. I'm an HIV client. Still no further update, and my course start is on the 25th Feb. Right. Yes, I get an update from my team as well, Vijay. Okay. I will have to quickly check with my team. So, as I mentioned when I started this session, Vijay, yes, there are delays with immigration New Zealand. You will have to patiently wait. That's what it is about, right? Plus, we are trying to get in touch with them. It is very, very difficult. They are asking us not to contact them because it'll just unnecessarily create delays and waiting for them, because number of emails and responding to all of them, it just takes away their time, right? Instead they can focus on applications. So yes, we have not forgotten any one of you who have filed your visas. We are on top of it, right, in my team. And as I said, we have got a very, very strong team of senior people here, and they are going to see whatever best we can do. At the moment, it's best to just wait. And also, we are speaking to the schools. We are trying to get you further extensions because 25th Feb, so you may be able to get 2 more weeks of extension. So we are trying our best to have that sorted for you in the meantime, right? So I'd say just stay put and stay patient. You might get a call anytime. Just be prepared for that, right? So, team, in case you have an update for Vijay, you can just share that with me so that I can let him know. Yeah. Right. Moving on, it's CH Vipul says mine is pending from a month or more. Kindly help me ASAP. Vipul, the same thing I will tell you. It's best to just wait, right? It is unfortunate, but then what's happening is if you push them and you try and get an outcome, they are just going to rush up an application, which we don't want, right? We want every case to be fairly looked into, right? So that is the reason we should not rush. Yes, we are aware of the intakes. We are speaking to the schools and also seeing what can be done. Vipul, stay patient, don't get worried. I'm sure it'll come through. It's just a matter of time. Okay, and we will do whatever it takes from our side to try and have it expedited, right? Right. So moving on. So we've got Tofel Abbas Uthmani. How can I migrate to New Zealand? Tofel, there are a lot of videos that talks about the various pathways, but I'll just give you a quick brief. You could possibly look at a skilled migrant category job search visa if you have certain points. That's 160, but you do not have a job offer from New Zealand, or you have not studied in New Zealand 2 years masters. So that is one of the pathways. The other pathway will be a student visa, because that gives you a fair opportunity to come into the country, study, and then get a 3 year. Most courses give you a 3 years open work visa where you'll be able to find a job and then look for a further visa as a resident class visa, right? So there are a lot of pathways. If you'd like to know what the pathways are, we will need to see what your profile is and where you fit in, right? So if you can please leave your details, Tofel, we'll be able to get back to you. Okay. So you say, okay, you also added another point saying you have 4.5 band IELTS. Okay, that could be a possible concern. I'll be honest with you, because you need to have an IELTS of at least a minimum 6 for us to be able to put you into a good program, right? So 4.5 is very, very low. So I think you need to start from there. You need to start working on your IELTS, and that's the most important thing, right? Please leave us your details so that my team can get in touch, and then help you further on from there. Okay. Right, moving on. We've got our favorite Moksh Arora back online here. He's been trying to connect with us for the past 3 weeks. Moksh, I don't know what's happening. Are you not contacting my team? Team, can you please tell me if Moksh has... Yeah, so if Moksh has connected with any of us, because I've seen through the past 2 weeks he's been coming online and he's asking us the same question. So I hope one of us. Can you please check and confirm if anyone has reached out to Moksh already, right? Yeah, just another note, guys. This is for all the AJV students that have filed the visa application through us. So there is another measure we are taking is to allocate and assign all the cases on a licensed advisor to see if things will get speeded up from immigration side. So if they, because LIAs have a direct connect to the LIA hotline, so there is a possibility the applications will be allocated quickly, but we cannot promise, but we're going to try that out. We're going to allocate all the LI applications to a licensed advisor so that we'll be able to put some pressure on them. So I'm sure your case officers are connecting to you, they're reaching out to you, right? So whatever they require, the forms and the agreements, whatever needs to be signed, please have that in place, and then we will get into action and see what else can be done. As I said, we are doing everything that is possible, everything that is required, okay, to speed up this process. We cannot promise, but we will do everything that is possible from our side, okay? So just stay put, and any of you guys who are very worried, you can always pick up the phone and talk to me, right? So we can always see how things can can be brought into course, right? Okay, moving on. I'll just wait for my team to check to confirm about Moksh. In the meantime, I'll go to the next question. So it's Ravi Kumar. Hi, I and my wife planning to migrate to New Zealand. I already hold a MBA in power management and have now 1.9 years of experience in business development. And my wife holds BTech in Tripoli and has 4 years of experience in IBM as systems engineer. Now, my question is, who will be the best to apply to study, and the other one will go by dependent, right? Ravi, first of all, I am not. Have you connected with my team? That's the first question, because you seem to have a very, very good profile, and we will need to do a thorough analysis to see, because both of you seem to have very, very good profiles. Yeah, both yourself and your wife. So we need to see who will be better off in terms of study, right? So what I would suggest to you is, if you have not, Ateep, can you confirm if Ravi is in touch with us? If you are not in touch with any of my team members, I'd request you to send us an email right now to info@hjvglobal.com. So, and one of my team members from the marketing team will flick that email across to me, and I will have a look at it. So, Binal, please look out for the email from Ravi, right? And just send it across to me, Ravi Kumar. Ravi, just send an email right away. We will do the assessment. I will do the assessment personally myself and suggest who is better off to do a study, because see, you're looking at coming as a couple, so that the chances are double in terms of getting closer to your resident visa, right? So in such cases, having an LIA explain to you how things will work once you come as the dependent with an open work visa, with a partnership based work visa, we will be able to suggest. Because what's happening is, we are seeing that the couples who are coming are the most successful, because the spouses are cracking a job within the first 6 months of coming to New Zealand, and they're even qualifying for a resident visa, a lot of them. So we are going straight into their resident visa even before the student finishes the course, right? So there is a very, very good chance. So Ravi, please send us an email, and Binal, please keep an eye out for it and send it across to me, right? Right. So moving on, we've got some more questions coming up. CH Vipul says, I've all applied for quantity surveying in ARA Institute of Canterbury. but whenever I ask from my counselor, she says no reply from college. However, I am mechanical background and I have more than 2 years experience in construction, so I've selected the course, but nothing is working. Kindly help. Team, can you tell me what's happening with Vipul? So it looks like he's applied. So right, my team says, uh, I think your case officer is Ambali, so that's what my team confirms. And we are waiting for an offer from ARA. And because there was a delay apparently for from your end as well to send the SOP. But however, the college called informed that it will take some more time. Vipul, I guess you're not looking at the February intake and this is for the July intake. Okay. If it is for the July intake, team, please confirm on that. If it's for July intake, then it will take a few more days because I mean, the colleges are also busy with the February, which is the current session, right? I'm certain it's not for the Feb session. You have not applied for the Feb session. It's for the July. So what I can do is I am going to check on this. Vipul, I'm going to send an email to ARA myself, right? I know the international director, Beth. So I will try and see if I can get an update. And I promise you by mid of next week, we will have a decision on this, right? By Wednesday. Ambali, can you please make a note of this so that I can follow up myself? We've got Navya, the team lead, who's given me this update. So Navya, can you please set a reminder for Tuesday so that I can check back with ARA again? Tomorrow's Friday, just one day. I'll try and get an update, but if it doesn't happen, I'll check with them on Tuesday again, right? So Navya, please keep a note of this and remind me about Vipul on Tuesday again to follow up again with ARA, and by Wednesday we'll try and get you an update, Vipul. Yeah, not to worry about it. We'll have this sorted, right? Moving on, Ravi, I just got an update that one of my colleagues, Jagrati, is in touch with you. So what I'll do is, Jagrati, if you can forward me Ravi and his wife's CV, I will have a look and we'll come back. Ravi, I'll come back to you in the via an email. I will come back to you and let you know what is the best option, right? And this is a public forum, and it won't be right for me to discuss, a case as detailed as yours on a public forum. We will discuss one on one. Moving on. Okay. So I think Vipul, we'll have that sorted. Nothing to worry. Right. Moving on. So we've got Ram PD. Hello, I'm from Nepal. I'm here. I'm for my son who's already completed his advanced diploma in hospitality management from China. Is he eligible for his BHM? Ram, thank you so much for coming in. Team, can you tell me if Ram is already connected with us? Right. So we've got a lot of Nepali students. In fact, Ram, we've got a very, very good community of Nepali students that have come in, and they're all part of. In fact, we posted a video earlier this week about Jayanti, who's one of our first Nepali student, and she's doing extremely well. And she's a very, very highly enthu student. She's doing extremely well. She's come here with her husband. So we've got a lot of Nepali students. So you don't have to worry about it at all. If your son comes here and he decides to work with us and decides to be an HAV client, right? So the course that you have selected in advanced diploma, you have not mentioned how many years it is. However, if he's already completed class 12 in Nepal, doesn't matter in which area, he's eligible for a bachelor's in New Zealand, right? There is no problem at all. However, if he's done a 2 years diploma after his 12, we could see if there's a possibility to get him cross-credited into the bachelor's, right? There are some of the schools that do that, where they basically see what papers he's already studied in his diploma, and they waive that papers off for him to study other papers or to directly get credits. Okay, so his duration of the study will come down, right? So there is a possibility, but I will need to look into his academic transcripts to see whether we can even apply for a cross credits, right? So what I would suggest, Ram, is if you can connect with my team, leave your details, right? At the end of the session, my team will reach out. to you, and you can email the documents, your son's documents, across directly to info@ajvglobal.com. My team will call you back and we will have the discussion further, and we'll suggest you the options, because we have got very, very good schools. We have got Pacific Institute of Hotel Management in New Plymouth, which is an amazing school. They have got internship for bachelor students. They in fact have accommodation, and the students, the college is actually set up like a hotel, so they have internships within, and they have a lot of work placements, and their course is very, very highly practical in nature. And they have paid internships at the end of the course, where the students are able to earn about $10,000. So it's like you're earning back the $10,000 which you've paid towards fees. So we have seen a very, very good success, even for students who are doing a 1-year diploma, right? So if he comes for a bachelor's, then definitely there's very good scope for him after that, right? And we've also got QRC. That's another hospitality school that is there in Queenstown. So there are a lot of options available. There are very, very good schools that are there that we work with, right? So if you can connect with us, we will show you what are the best options depending on what your budget is, and if you have any city preference and everything, we can work according to that, right? So Ram, please connect with my team, and we will help you, and certainly say, help you with all the details and the process, right? So moving on, we've got someone called Proxy Ray. I wonder if that's really your name. Okay. So Proxy Ray says, I hope you're not proxying for someone else. Right. Right. So Proxy says, can you please tell me student expenses, total cost per month? Prices seem to be too steep. Right. Ray, I'll just call you Ray. It's easier that way. So Ray, I'm not really sure. What do you mean by total cost? Are you saying living expenses? If it's living expenses, then you can expect to spend anywhere between $1,000 to $1,250 per month. Okay, this is what is the trend, and this is what we've been seeing. Immigration New Zealand expects you to have 15,000 New Zealand dollars per year to take care of your living expenses. Yes, it is. It is. I won't say it's too expensive. However, we have seen students living and saving quite a bit, and they've been able to do it under, say, about $10,000. So it depends on, it really depends on your lifestyle, and really depends on your choices. If you want to live in the city center, a very smart home, and or you want to live by yourself, then it's going to be expensive. But if you want to live away from the city, don't mind traveling, or we've got some students who bike as in cycle to school, to their university, so they save money on their transport. So there are lots of options, there are lots of things that you can do to save money, to smartly save money. And I've seen, and students pick up part-time jobs. So if you're able to pick up a part-time job, you will be earning your minimum wages, and you will be able to take care of your expenses, and you save basically what you carry from your home country, right? So you will need to make smart decisions as to what where to spend and how to spend, right? So at the moment, the government has announced from April 1st, the minimum wages are going to go up to 17.70, which is brilliant, because that kind of makes your life a little bit more comfortable, because it has increased by $1.20, right? And that's a very, very good thing. So yes, it also matters, the quality of life is very, very high in New Zealand when you compare it. Yeah, it is steep. It is steep if you try and convert everything to your currency. You'll feel it's expensive, but then the quality of life is also very, very high. When you see New Zealand students, when you compare them with most other students across the globe, New Zealand students are very happy, because they get to do a lot of activities without having to spend a lot of money. It's a beautiful country. You can go trekking, you can go swimming, you can go in the beaches, and you can go rock climbing and rafting, and there's so many things that you can do. Fishing you can do without having to spend a lot of money. And you that's how it is. The quality of life is very, very high, right? That is what you need to focus on. You don't want to leave your country and come here to have the same quality of life again. You want that to be improved, and that's what New Zealand promises for students. It promises a great vacation while you're studying. That's what it is. Okay, I hope that I've answered that question. Moving on. So we've got Ram again who come back and he said he's fluent in English, Russian, and Chinese as well. Aged about 21 years old. Looks like he's a good student, Ram, your son. I think we'll be definitely be happy to help because yes, we have noticed Nepali students not to have very high levels of English. They have struggled with English, but if he's fluent and he's got proficiency in other languages as well, that means he's a good student. And if he's already studied abroad, then New Zealand will look at him very, very favorably, right? So I would suggest you connect with my team and we see how we can help you, right? Okay, moving on. So Ravi Kumar says, Ravi, I just mentioned I cannot answer that query of yours on a public forum like this. I will have to speak to you one on one because you already connected with my team. It's best that we speak offline, yeah, because there's only so much that I can discuss on a public forum like this, and this is intricate details. I really do not prefer to do that on a public forum like this, right? So what I would suggest is I will connect with you after this session. Okay, so we've got okay, Ray has posted another question again. He says my brother has a study of 4 years gap of 4 years after 12th class. He is having a work experience of 4 years in web development. That's good. What are the chances of visa and university acceptance rate? Ray, I think this is the first time you're watching my session. I have the same question that had come up last week about gap. For us, the gap is not really a concern as long as you can tell us what you were doing. Okay, I'll answer that in one very simple question answer. So it does not bothers us. We have people who have 9 years of gap. We have people who have 2 years of gap and have not done nothing as well. But if we are able to put across to immigration, as I said, we work on sending decision ready files, right? So if we see that there are enough documents and a proper explanation as to why that gap happened and why there was a break, I would not say gap, break in your studies, then I don't see any problem in that at all, right? The chances of visa and university acceptance rate, I don't see there's anything to be worried about. You need somebody good to represent, somebody who can explain to the schools and to immigration why that happened. And you need to work with the right person. That's what it is. If you just try and put anything in, there are a lot of students who come to us and say, okay, can you do something about the gap? Can you put some documents? Can you cover the gap? We don't do all that. We straight away say we won't work with you because you're talking about falsifying documents or producing fraudulent documents, and we will not encourage that. So that's what it is. So Ray, if you're interested, I think you need to talk to us, okay? And we will be able to help you further. Team, please reach out to Ray after this session, and we'll see how we can help him out and his brother, right? Right. Moving on, we've got Anthony Richard Arnold saying, "How do I get to invite?" Sorry, what invite? I am not really sure what you're saying. Anthony, if you can just elaborate on that question, that'll be good. It'll be easy for me to answer if I really don't know what you're talking about, right? Okay. Shrija is dealing with Ravi's application. Okay, he's left his email address as well, so that's fine. Right. Oh, the next question we've got is from Balbir Saab. Hello, I've done master degree in public administration in 2011 from Punjab University, Chandigarh, and then applied to Australia in 2014 for MBA in Brisbane. But I got refusal. After that, I took admission in hotel management for 4 years, degree from Rayat Bahara University. Now it's completed. Please help me. May I apply for New Zealand? Balbir, if you have any prior, sorry, it's not just for Balbir, anybody else who's got prior declines for other countries, you have to, New Zealand will definitely consider you, doesn't matter. However, it is important to declare, it is important to explain about your refusal. Okay, we have a lot of people, and I take this opportunity and this platform to tell you all, even if you do not decide to work with AJV and you decide to apply by yourself, doesn't matter. But I'm giving you this as a free advice. Please
always declare previous declines. Doesn't matter, even it is for some small little country somewhere in the world. If you've had a visa decline, it's a refusal, please declare on your New Zealand application. It is mandatory to do that. Okay. I have had students come to us after they've reached New Zealand who have come to us and say, ma'am, I told my agent, but my agent said to omit it or to not declare it. Okay. That means you are not providing full information and you have concealed information with Immigration New Zealand, which is a very serious offense, right? Even if few years later you by yourself you tell them saying that, oh, sorry, there was this refusal and I forgot about it, they will not really appreciate that, right? And please ensure, it doesn't matter if it's for a visitor visa, for a dependent visa, whatever it is, you have to absolutely declare. Okay, this is a free information I'm giving all you people sitting out there. Even if you decide to work with HIV or not, or see this video weeks later after you've applied, doesn't matter, please ensure you have declared. Okay, it is a very serious problem if you do not declare your previous declines. Okay, declines, refusals for any categories to any country, even to New Zealand, because eventually Immigration New Zealand will come to know about it at some stage in your future process, and then you will be actually deported, and you don't want to face such kind of issues, right? So free information, free advice to you guys, so please ensure that is there. So Balbir, not a problem. You need someone to represent you properly. You need someone who can explain your previous visa refusal. And I'm saying, I'm very proud to say I've got a strong team that has dealt with such kind of an applications. We have we have people who have declined 3 times, 4 times to Canada and a couple of other countries, but we've been able to get visas. That's because we've been able to explain to immigration and put all the facts in place when we apply for a visa. Okay, so Balbir, please connect with us. Team, can you please tell me if Balbir is already in touch with us? Yeah, my team is awfully silent today, yaar. Guys, I hope you all are there and you guys are watching. You guys are awfully silent. Right. So, Balbir, you need to connect with us, right? And we will have the best person on the team look at your application, and if required, my team will also discuss with me, because these kind of cases where there are declines and all that, we have 2 or 3 senior people who look into these applications to ensure that we set the right expectations for you guys. It's important. So we will tell you if it's not possible, we'll tell you bluntly, Balbir, this is a problem, or your decline was because of so and so. So if it's not possible, we'll tell you straight away, but if it is, we will fight it for you. Okay, so connect with my team, Balbir, and we will take this forward for you, right? Nothing to worry about it. New Zealand will welcome you as long as it was not a decline based on fraudulent documentation or bad health. Yeah, right. So I hope you talk to us, Balbir, right? Okay, moving on. We've got a YouTube query. It says Krishna Prasad, diploma supply chain management logistics. I need to know about the scope in New Zealand, right? So okay, do you really want me to respond to that? Okay, we've got Arun Hussain. They're all very hypnotized by this session, and that is the reason they're not responding. I hope the rest are not sleeping. Okay. Anyways, so we get to Krishna's question. So Krishna says, talks about supply chain management logistics. First of all, New Zealand is, you see, it's an island country. We've got very less population, and there's barely any manufacturing happening here, right? Because of which there is a lot of import happening, because a lot of things are import. For instance, the other day I was sitting at the bus stop, and I was wondering, looking at, we were waiting for the bus, and then I realized that all the cars are imported. None of them are manufactured here in New Zealand, and then there's so much of scope in that area, because there's so much of the import happening of cars every single day. There are people every single day buying. Even I was looking at picking up another car, and I was looking at options, and there's nothing manufactured here in New Zealand. It's all imported. So that is something that, and we go to the supermarket, you will see everything on the shelves there. The food items, rice and a lot of things are imported. You go to, we've got big Indian grocery stores, they're all imported, obviously, because except for few things like rice and other things are, few manufacturers are there, but otherwise it's everything. We get all those brands, India Gate and all those brands are come here. That's also because it's imported from India. Then we go to, these uh, shopping centers, and you flip 50% of the products, you flip and you'll see it's made somewhere else. So the other day I went and I picked up a pack of coffee. I was like, oh, it's nicely New Zealand branded and all, and I flip and I say it's made in India, and I was like, I just smiled to myself and I said, okay, it looks like I've got brew here eventually. So everything is imported, guys. Okay, from the smallest little thing like small, nails and couple of other things, everything is imported. But there is export happening on leather, dairy, milk, cheese products, wine is exported. So there are agri products, pretty much all agri products are great with export. So there's a lot of export happening for these kind of products, and there's huge import happening. This only goes to say that there's huge requirement in supply chain and management and logistics. So supply chain is also used in other areas, guys. You must remember, supply chain is also used in retailing, right? So again, the retail industry is quite big in New Zealand, right? So because of which there is a lot of requirement, and I got at least 4 people who are working in procurement at the moment. Okay, all these clients have worked abroad and they've got jobs. They came with their spouses and straight away got jobs in logistics and supply chain, right? So yes, it is good for you to study logistics and supply chain, but only one thing: you will need to have some kind of a background understanding or experience if you have to do this particular course. We have discussed profiles with the schools, and they also advise that if you have background, if you have experience or another course that you have studied, then you are good. But if you have done BCom and you expect to get into supply chain with just 1 year diploma, it is going to be difficult to find employment here. You may have to start off really, really basic. You can't expect to become a procurement manager or a logistic manager directly. You have to start at a buyer and purchaser level, which is the purchase officers, the first stage in the logistics chain. So you will need to do that. You will need to be an accounts, an invoice person who sits and make these invoices and be a buyer or a purchase officer. You need to start from there. If you're willing to do that, fine. But you will need to understand that you cannot become straight away a purchasing or a procurement officer, a procurement manager, right? So that's my answer. Team, please reach out to Krishna and help him make the right choice of the course, please. Yes, because it's very, very important that people make the right choices. We have seen students, non-HAV students, coming to us and saying, ma'am, I want to change the course because I think I've come into a wrong program. First of all, they're non-HAV, so it's very difficult for us to reach out and extend our help or services to them, right? But none of the HAV students ever come back and say, I want to change course. That's because they all are into the right program. We analyze and to understand what suits them, what their profiles are, and eventually what will get them to their final goal of becoming a resident in New Zealand. We do a thorough job in that. At every stage, the counselors do it, then further the case officers do it, then our senior managers in the team do it. And if required, even it comes to my table here, we discuss, because it is, we are not dealing with another number, we are not dealing with another name, it's another life. And not just yours, there's so many people involved with you. It's your parents, if you're married, your spouse and your children. There's so many lives that we are dealing with. We are helping to make a decision, and we do not want to make a wrong decision and give you the wrong advice. At the end of the day, it is your choice to make, it is your decision, but we want to do a thorough job, and we want to in fact, there was this morning I got a call from somebody in Auckland. I will not take names. So this man, quite elderly, he's in his late 50s. I think he's about 53, and his wife is here studying. So she's unable to finish the course, and he wanted to continue. At 53 he wants to study, and I have been telling him it's going to be very difficult at 53. If you study now, it is going to be very difficult because 55 is the cutoff for you, and he's got grown-up children. So this morning he called me. We had a couple of discussions, and I told him it's not fair that you spend another 30 lakh rupees and you want to extend your visa. Then he calls me again this morning and he says, my agent in India says that I can get you in. 53 years old, doesn't matter, 1 year course, you can get it. I only told him one thing bluntly. I said, we work with a lot of conscious, and I told you what are the issues with this. If you still want me to apply, I will apply, but my it's a suggestion to you is this. So please understand. So for us, it's very important that we suggest you the right things. We want to be able to sleep peacefully at night and not worry that, oh, I've sent him into the wrong thing, or we have just tried to. So we don't want that, and we've been doing this for over 15 years, and we will continue to do that even 30 years down the lane. We always want to be relieved that our students are in the right courses and with something that they is a career opportunity for them, and not you're not just another number to make money. Okay, so we're very particular about that. Okay, so sorry, I'm just getting off track a bit here, but that's how it is, guys. We will ensure that you get into the right program. Okay, so we've got Prabesh here. Prabesh is our first Nepali student, Jayanti, whose testimonials up on our page. Is her husband. So he says Nepali student can apply through HIV for easy, reliable, authentic visa success. Jayanti and me are also from Nepal. Thanks, AJV. Thank you so much, Pravesh. It's very, very sweet. Sorry I couldn't catch up with you since you have come. I'm here in Auckland on Saturday. Hopefully, if you and Jayanti come over for the workshop, I'll be happy to say hello to you guys. Try and make it, yeah? Thanks. Thank you, Pravesh, for those kind words. Okay, moving on. Okay, so we've got Ajmal, who says, I've completed physiotherapy just 6 months back. Is there any October intake? Okay. Ajmal, physiotherapy is an area that requires registration in New Zealand. Okay, so in your situation, we will have to look at alternate options where you do not require registration. We cannot do Masters of Physiotherapy directly. Okay, so first of all, we need to see what course suits you. A lot of physiotherapists have come into postgraduate diploma in sports and exercise science because some of the institutions have um, what do you say, they have changed the content a bit to suit physiotherapists. Okay, it's they are two different areas leading to two different careers. However, there is a small overlap, there's a very thin line. So the schools here have recognized the scope, and they have come up with a very, very good sports and exercise science program. Okay, we have had some students in the past. However, we will need to see what exactly you're looking at as a future and as a career. Okay, so what I would suggest is, Ajmal, team, can you please tell me if Ajmal is already in touch with us, right? So Ajmal, please connect with my team. It is important that you talk to us, and we will guide you through with what are the best options available, right? Okay, so we've got Al Rashid says, please email me details of migration to New Zealand. Rashid, we will need you to email us first. Okay, if you can please email it to immigrationadvisor@ajvglobal.com. Please email your CV, yours and your spouse if you're married. We will come back to you and tell you what pathways are you eligible for, right? So please do that right away so that we can help you. Okay, thank you. Moving on, we've got Arpita Kotian, who says, hello, Mary. My husband is applying for student visa through AJV. Thank you very much, Arpita, for working with us. I have 3 years experience in primary school teaching. Will I be able to get a teaching job when I come on dependent visa? I am doing a diploma in elementary education. Currently will complete by April. One more thing, we have 2-year daughter. So I'm concerned if it's feasible for me to apply for a dependent visa where I can work. We are in touch with Nisha and submitting our documents soon. We are looking at July or September. Okay, first of all, Arpita, if you're looking at July, even if you're looking at September, you need to apply now. As I said, the beginning of this session, Immigration New Zealand is expected to get even more busy because all applications are coming to Mumbai from all across the globe. Hence, I strongly recommend you to apply today. Okay, if even if you have your basic documents in place, your husband who's going to be the student, if his bachelor's degree and his 10th and 12th and his CV is in place, send it across, because my team will get the application started. Arpita, please don't wait. Every single day is important, because you will take a few more days for your loans or whatever financial aspects, and then everything will take its own time. We want to be able to put your applications in, and I see that you would like to travel together, because you also have a young child, so you might want to travel together. So if that's the case, you need to absolutely apply now, right? So Nisha, please speak to Arpita and explain to her how important it is to start immediately. Besides that, your question regarding teaching, Arpita, you will be able to teach only if you get registration in New Zealand as a teacher. So you will need to go to the Teachers Council website and check what are the requirements. So you will be required. They expect you to at least have a bachelor's in education and in teaching, bachelor's in education and teaching. So they will also require some NZQA assessments. You need to have very high levels of English. So we have not dealt with this directly before. We have not really done any registrations. However, we can help you and guide you through with that, right? We can connect you to someone who can help you with that. So, but you cannot teach without having a teacher's registration. However, there are certain schools in certain areas that look reliever teachers who do not require license, right? So it really depends on the school and what kind of, and you can apply for non-teaching jobs, which is admin jobs in the area of education. Okay, that you will be able to definitely apply. Now, with regards to your child is allowed for 20 free 20 hours EC, that's early childhood education. I had when we moved to New Zealand, my son was also 2.5 years old, so we put him in kindy over here. It's called kindergarten. So we put him in kindy, and it's extremely convenient for families who are looking at working. I've got friends who have their kids for 8 hours in kindergarten, and they're very, very happy over here. So nothing to worry about your child. If you're working, your child will be in kindergarten, and you can work your timings around it. And if you're likely to get into a school, all you know is you might get into that same kindergarten and see for some opportunities there, while you keep an eye out on your daughter. So there's a lot of things that can happen, but you won't be able to teach, that's for sure, without having your registration in place. So you might want to get up on the Teachers Council website and start looking for ways to get registered. Yeah. So go ahead and look at that and start your application now. And also you might want to, sign up immediately. And sorry, that was for April, May, and June intake, the offer which I have announced. However, just sign up today, and it'll be good for us to get started. Time is really, really important at the moment for us, the way Immigration New Zealand is dealing with applications. Okay. Right. Or moving on, we've got Abu Bakar says, what is the IELTS score need to? Okay. First of all, you need to take your IELTS, Bakar. Okay. So IELTS score minimum is 6 for a graduate diploma and 6.5 for a postgraduate or master's, right? So I hope I've answered that in one simple answer, right? But Abu, I really need to know a little more about what you're looking at. Okay. Right. Our next question we've got, Arpita says, do I need to have IELTS score? Arpita, you don't need to have an IELTS score to get started. We can apply for something called a conditional offer. You can provide your IELTS score a little later. Seeing the way you've typed, and I'm also assuming your husband also has very good English levels, should not be a problem. Get started. We'll get you the conditional offer. You've at least got the offer, and it will help you, to speed up your other processes as well. Get your IELTS booked by, say, next month, doesn't matter, but have your offer letter in place. The schools are also going to get very, very busy, so it's better you apply and get the offer in place. Okay. Right. Rajiv Mungro says, interested for what? I'm sorry, you need to be a little more clear with what you're interested in, Rajiv. Yeah. So moving on, we've got Helen says, would like to know more about nursing jobs in IELTS. Okay, very interesting. Helen, nurses are are required quite a bit. They're not in the skill shortage list, but nurses are required quite a bit in New Zealand. They're in a lot of demand. There is something called a CAP course that you can apply for, which is called Competency Assessment Program, where if you're qualified overseas, have 3 years of experience, and have an IELTS of 7 band each. Okay. If you've got this, you can also take, some schools accept PT and OET as well, right? So if you've got this profile, you can apply for something called a CAP, which is an 18 weeks course. So once you do that CAP, you will be able to get apply for registration with the Nursing Council Board. Okay, that is what the requirement is. Okay, so what I would suggest is, if you speak to us, suppose if you do not have this profile, then you've got bridging programs that are of 1 or 2 years, actually 2 years, where we've got a polytechnic here in Hamilton, where they have a 3 years nursing program. But if you're qualified overseas and you do not meet the requirement for your CAP, or say directly for your nursing council registration, they will give you cross credits into their bachelor's course, where you can study 1.5 year. And even if your IELTS is less, that's another thing. So even if your IELTS is slightly lesser, they'll be able to enroll you into the bachelor's, where you graduate with your bachelor's degree in nursing in about 2 years, depends on how much of cross credit you get. And that will further on lead you to your nursing council registration, and hopefully by the time you will meet that IELTS requirement as well. Okay, so Helen, that's a very, very good pathway. I have spoken to someone very, very senior here. His name is Girish Nair. He's the international director here, and he assures that people have had very, very good successes with this particular pathway, where overseas qualified nurses with less IELTS and less experience are able to get into the bachelor's and graduate with the bachelor's degree, further to get registration with the nursing council. And nurses are not on the skill shortage list, but they are in demand. They are quite a bit required, and they highly value overseas qualified nurses, migrant nurses, because they believe we work very, very hard, and we put our heart and soul into this. And we've got a lot of South Indian nurses who have come and joined this program here in Hamilton. I've spoken to a few of them recently, and they seem to be liking the program quite a bit. Yeah. So Helen, please connect with us, and we'll be able to help you further on this. Yeah. We can connect you with the team here at WinTech, which is the Waikato Institute of Technology, and we'll be able to see if we can get you a cross credit for that. Right. Okay, moving on. We've got just a few more minutes, guys. So I will finish the last few questions we've got. So we've got someone called Pedro Kiwiman. Okay, so he says, my friend got hairdresser experience for more than 10 years. Do you recommend him to apply for a visitor visa and then search for jobs, or apply on work visa? His English is not good at all. Okay, Pedro. First of all, if his English is not up to mark, then I'd be a bit concerned. Yeah, because New Zealand's an English-speaking country, and you have to interact with people in English. You have to speak to everyone here in English. So if you do not have English, that is the main requirement of all the migrants. We would require you to speak in English if you come here, right? So if your English levels are low, then your friends' English levels are low, that will be a matter of concern. However, for others, I can just answer this question. Please do not think that getting a visitor visa, because that's what they do for a lot of other countries, like the Gulf countries and some couple of other countries, where they take a visitor visa and get into the country and then apply for jobs. In some countries it is possible, but in New Zealand, first of all, getting a visitor visa itself is difficult. Okay, so we have seen people who've applied for visitor visas because they think it is easy to get a visitor visa like a lot of other countries. It is not. Okay, so they apply for a visitor visa, then they get declined, and then they realize, oh, okay, I think I'm going to now take up the student pathway because it's not happening for the visitor visa. So please do not do that mistake. It's a waste of time, money, and you're putting a flag against your case to Immigration New Zealand, because Immigration New Zealand will not be happy to see that you've applied for a visitor visa and then you're looking at a student visa. They think you're desperate to trying to get the country somehow or the other, right? And we have seen immigration raising queries in this regards in the past, and I'm just cautioning all you people who think you could take that pathway, right? So even if you get a visitor visa and try to come here, please do not work without having a work visa. If you get an offer, if an employer is willing to sponsor you, then talk to a licensed advisor and see what are the pathways to convert that application or apply for a work visa. But please do not try and illegally work on a visitor visa, right? So these are the important things. You cannot apply for a direct open work visa if your friend is from certain countries that allow holiday working visas. We could possibly look at that. Yeah. But then we will need to I need to see, where your friend is from and what's his background and things like that, right? So Pedro, if you can please leave us your details. You can actually text me. If you can text me on my number here, it's 0226052615. That's my number here in New Zealand. Send me a text and we'll see if we can help your friend. If he's from a country that allows holiday working visas, we can help you with that. Right. So, guys, I think we're at the end of the session. Team, is it time to wrap up? See, it's 11:31 here, New Zealand time. As I said again, my team is awfully quiet, and I don't think it's any hypnosis or things like that. Right. So, okay, before we close for the day, couple of things again, reminders. The numbers you can connect with me and my team in India is 1-800-103-6525. Email address will be info@hjbglobal.com. The details here in New Zealand for you to contact us on shore here is 0226052615. If you're calling from overseas, you have to add +64. And any immigration related queries, please direct to immigrationadvisor@ajbglobal.com. We are running an offer, 5,000 rupees worth voucher for anyone applying through us for the April, May, June intakes. We have a couple of courses that run during these intakes as well. Anybody signing up from say last week till 16th of February, we're running this special, say, it's not a Valentine's Day offer, but yeah, and happy Valentine's Day, guys. Sorry, I wanted to start off the session with that, but I hope you guys, whoever believe in Valentine's Day, I hope you had a good day today. Yeah, and yeah, it's just another day for us here. But yeah, thank you all for patiently watching. Thank you of all you viewers to come, all those colleagues, friends who come diligently week after week, all our clients here who are now friends who come online every week. Thank you so much. And we appreciate each one of you coming online and asking us these beautiful questions. We hope to continue to help and give out free advice wherever possible. But again, we'd like you to work with us, right? And thank you very much and goodbye. Until next week, I'm here every Thursdays, 3 p.m. India time and 10:30 New Zealand time. See you next week. Thank you.